Yeah.
I was just told to say hi. Who's that? Sheila? Or, man, it's my Shelly.
Shelly?
Yeah, Shelly. Simon does. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were three.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So were you just like guessing who the fourth cameraman was?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just random.
Well,
Awesome. Thank you,
recognize
Shelly. Okay, cool, perfect. Nope. You want me to disable? Good. We're gonna take off channel. You should only have chance to sound. You just tell me when you're ready. All right, let's see. Let me flip it real quick. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So, mic check, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, mic check, mic check. Okay. Okay, perfect. And then I'm gonna flip. Get the audio. Cool. Thank you.
What's your name?
Just started like a month ago. Special project. I finished everything. For some reason, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. I typed it in. It's like, oh, okay.
Now they're gonna have you always do this. You shouldn't have done it.
It probably won't happen again. I will volunteer next time, but
Yeah. 4 years.
yeah, she's great.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going. Let's do it.
No, unanimous.
LT, you want to come up? You want to come up? What's that? Oh. All right, I think everybody's good, right? You guys are good?
Yep.
All right. Hey, first off, we appreciate everyone taking the time to come to this event. And our first order of business is to pass on our thoughts and prayers to the Matthews family. That's the family of the 7-year-old that thankfully is still alive to this day based on some heroic actions. My name's Terry Grice. I'm the sheriff. I will give some overview of the incident and then pass it on to some of our other collaborative partners. I guess what I also want to illustrate is just as you're standing here, look at this collaboration. This was a very, very stressful situation, and it took every single one of these agencies to have this outcome the way it was. So as we all know, there was a situation that started in Jefferson County, Ohio. It started about 2:58 in the afternoon. The suspect, Mr. Alexander, went to a school to try to, I guess, pick up his daughter, who he had no custody of. The grandma at that point went to the school, took the daughter, 7-year-old, to her house, at which point the suspect went to that location and abducted the individual, the child. During that encounter, actually with his vehicle, ran over, struck another female at that location, and then took off on north with a Ford F-150. Members of the Marshals Task Force and other agencies started tracking the individual. At some point, located him or followed it northbound, at which point he was in the Fair Lawn area and left that vehicle at a hotel there, and then was able to, I guess, steal a U-Haul vehicle. The suspect then was then picked up in the city. That's why Chief Safran's here, and I'm going to let Chief kind of go over some of the details that occurred in Brunswick City.
Thank you, Sheriff Price. So at 8:02 p.m. tonight, dispatch center received the Amber Alert, a U-Haul truck with Arizona plates being operated by Charles Alexander, was possibly in a plaza located at 3634 Center Road where the Winking Lizard is. One of our officers was literally around the corner from the initial call, pulled in and observed the vehicle. He didn't attempt to make contact with the subjects who were walking back to the vehicle. At that time, he determined it was probably Mr. Alexander. Mr. Alexander turned towards him. He yelled for him to stop. Mr. Alexander then jumped into the vehicle and fled the scene. So we then began to pursue the U-Haul truck with Mr. Alexander at a low speed. At one point on Center Road, he did utilize the U-Haul truck to strike the side of one of our cruisers, causing some damage to it. The U-Haul truck then made its way, continued eastbound on Center Road, and got on Interstate 71 south. Just prior to it hitting the entrance ramp, we were able to utilize tire deflation devices, also known as spike strips, to damage one of the front tires to the U-Haul truck. That slowed the chase down significantly even more. We then continued to chase the U-Haul southbound on 71 and attempt to stop it. During the course of the pursuit, Mr. Alexander placed a call to our dispatch center threatening that he would shoot his daughter and himself. He wanted officers to back off and stop pursuing him. So we continued the pursuit with the U-Haul truck down to 71 and Route 18. At that point, the U-Haul truck pulled into a address off of East Point Drive in Medina Township. The U-Haul truck then was facing away from officers, and at some point, as our officers attempted to get closer to the vehicle, there were some shots fired at officers. Officers then retreated, and it was at that time we called in for additional resources. So that was our involvement.
Thank you, Chief. As the Chief said, that it did stop there on East Point. Multiple agencies were called in to help us with extra resources. Extensive efforts were made in negotiations with the suspect to try to have a situation. After multiple threats to his daughter, a member of the Ohio State Highway Patrol Special Response Team did neutralize the threat. And I will say this, that decision is never made easy. That's a difficult situation for that trooper. But that act alone, right then, saved this little girl. There's no doubt in my mind. As we hear some of the 911 tapes, I mean, I will tell you this, they're very emotional to listen to, but I think when you hear them, you will understand the significance of this situation. After the situation was neutralized, the 7-year-old was removed from the vehicle by law enforcement and safely removed and to have a reunification with her mom at the Medina County Sheriff's Office. So what we're going to do now is play some of the 911 tape. Again, I know we've received multiple requests to have this released. This is a combination of all 3 dispatch centers, so we will release this in full, but this is, I believe, about 3 minutes in length, and this is a compilation of multiple locations.
This is Charles Alexander. I'm with Oakland. I'm going to stop this car. I need the police to not come up. Do you know who I am?
Yes, sir. Where are you at right now?
I'm getting off the exit 18. I need them to not approach this car. Tell them I am going to off us both if they don't back off. Stay back. Stay back. I will shoot us both. Stay back. Stay back. I want to talk to her mother.
She's still there?
Yeah.
And she's still there. Everybody, you're keeping her safe, right?
For now.
Listen just one second. Hold on. I am trying to help.
How do you know the police are happening?
We'll go for it.
What?
We'll go for it.
I'm going to have it.
You're a good person.
I don't want to go to heaven
I don't
today.
want it to happen either. I just want to talk to your
Yes,
mother.
stay here. Stay. Anything yet? We don't. Daughter, I know you do, and you don't want to hurt her, and you didn't want it to be like this. I know. But let's not do anything that we can't undo, okay?
You're not letting me go to heaven.
No, I love you. I love you so much.
Just hold on one second. Just Bear with me, we want to, no, I know, no, it's not too late.
Too late.
It's not too late.
It's too late. I've tried for 2 years. I would give her a chance to say bye to her mother.
I know, but hold on, wait a second, no, that's not, no, listen to me. Take a breath, take a breath.
Heaven today?
Yes, Mom.
No,
Did you promise I'm going to heaven today?
If you're listening, Ashley, you should have called me.
Am I going to heaven today? I don't want to go to heaven today. No matter what, I'm going to heaven today. I don't want to.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to go.
hold on a second, hey, hold on. Still here. We have options. We have options.
It's not going to let me go to heaven. So I'm not going to die.
You're getting an officer to talk to you, that's there, that you can talk to, that's not gonna approach you.
I don't want to talk to anyone.
Just keep talking to her. You don't want her to be scared, you don't want to hurt her. I know you don't want to hurt her. I know that this is about the courts and it being unfair. And let's not do anything that is gonna make it even more unfair to her, because you love her. I know you do. You wouldn't be doing this if you didn't. You don't go through this if you don't. So let's not do anything that we can't fix, okay?
Okay. Your games are over.
Can you hear me?
Again, that's just a compilation of the 3 different phone calls, and I think we can all hear that emotion in the 7-year-old. I mean, that tears. This next video is, again, just, I don't even know, I think it's about 3 minutes long or 2 minutes long of just some of the pursuit, and then
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired again. Shots fired again. Watch, crossfire.
I guess 2 other things I'd like to note. You can hear shots fired. There was those shots were directed towards law enforcement. You may have noticed at one point the passenger door opens and it's closed. that is where the little girl was sitting, was on the passenger side. The other thing, and maybe you've heard it, the dispatch centers, all three of them, to the stress that goes into these types of phone calls. I mean, they all did just a tremendous job and were true professionals and were heroic. Part of our release last night, we said that all the officers were physically okay, and along with the 7-year-old. It's a blessing, but I also think it's imperative, I think we all know this, that there's no doubt this has an emotional toll on the family and the 7-year-old. So that's why when we started the press conference, we said our thoughts and prayers are to the family. Because this is, although the situation was over last night, this is basically a beginning of a new chapter for that little girl and the officers that were involved. I just can't stress enough that decision by the trooper, the courage, the professionalism. None of us, no one up here, no one in this room ever wants to be in that position. But his decision, without a doubt, saved that little girl. And I can't thank him enough, just on behalf of a parent. I don't even know the family, but just a parent to take that. So LT, you should be proud. The other thing, I know he won't want me to say this, but Chief Minnick was on the phone with this individual for 10 minutes himself, trying to negotiate a safe ending. And he did a fantastic job, and again, should be commended for all of his efforts. So with that, we'll take some questions. I'm just going to let you know right now, we're not going to name the member or provide the name of the trooper. We're not doing that. The BCI is handling that aspect of the investigation. But there's some other specific question we can answer. We'll certainly try to. If we can't, we'll let you know that, and we'll try to get you the information.
Sorry, it's hard to tell from the video.
Sure.
Where was were they trying to buy enough time so that a trooper could get in the right position to fire the shot? Where was the shot fired?
I won't get into the specifics on where the shot was fired. At that time, resources were coming from outside the county, within the county. I think it wasn't to get time to do that. It was just the chief and other people were just trying to have a safe ending.
And the child was in the car when...
That's true. And that's the other, it's tough to see on that video, but at least one point, the child was on his lap. And I will also say this, based on our deputy who was operating the drone, at one point, the suspect puts the gun to the child.
It's incredibly tough. And that's, how difficult is it, its decision to know when?
Yeah, you know what? I can't give you a specific answer for that because it is extremely difficult, right? These are split-second decisions, and he had that split second and knew what the right thing was to do. Again, he's also dealing with it too, you know. So it's a tough for him as well.
Based off that phone call, it didn't seem like there was any chance he was going to walk away with either himself or his daughter alive. How do you think the dispatch bought enough time to where this girl was safe because of that, allowing to be, they could do what they needed to do as troopers?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They, along with the other members and the trooper, are the reason this has the ending that it does. I understand he's deceased, but the 7-year-old's still alive. And to hear this, and this was only 3 minutes of audio, and to hear the entire audio of all 3 dispatch centers of what they went through, they did an absolutely tremendous job. Tremendous.
Sheriff, why was he here in Northeast Ohio?
We believe that there's an address up in Cuyahoga County that it was thought that he was headed to. Members of the Marshals Task Force were aware of that, and we're looking in that area as well.
And was the trooper who shot him, was he a sniper?
I don't know that. I believe so, but I don't want to confirm it without knowing.
Do you believe, do you have a hideout, a safe house, an accomplice in Cuyahoga County?
No, he didn't have an accomplice. It was thought that he had another area he was staying. And maybe I failed to say at this, in Fairlawn, he did have a hotel that was registered in his name. Obviously, he wasn't there, so we don't know if that was his destination in mind or if there was another location in Cuyahoga County.
Do we have any idea if this was premeditated from the standpoint of, like, he had planned, there's a stolen U-Haul involved, it seems like? You know, if that was...
You know that he did call Jefferson County Sheriff's Office last week and expressed some frustration, and the sheriff did a fantastic job, you know, trying to walk him through the proper steps, I guess I should say. And it's also was brought to our attention that there is a history of mental illness too with this individual.
Can you go over the beginning again? It kind of went fast. Who was the little girl from school, and to whose house was she taken to?
So the suspect initially tried to go to the school in Jefferson County to pick her up. The school was aware he did not have custody, made a phone call, at which point the grandmother came and picked up the little girl and took her to her house. The suspect then left the school and went to the grandmother's house and forcibly abducted her. And during that encounter, as I said, with his F-150, struck another female with minor injuries, and that's when he fled north.
And looking at this timeline here, why did it, is it, I don't know if this is normal, or why did the pushed out? Is it normal for that timeline?
Yeah, I don't know. Jefferson County was working this actively from the beginning, and I do know that it was, the Amber Alert in certain areas was issued earlier than other areas, so I don't know why.
And just social media posts. And we're seeing some things on social media that might have been a cause as to some of this
Sure.
speculation.
Yep, she is 7, and yesterday was her birthday.
So she turned 7 yesterday.
Good question. I just know yesterday was her birthday, and I was told she was 7.
Okay.
There's video out there on Facebook, allegedly from his Facebook page. Are you guys aware of that? Are you investigating that? And
Yes.
then, the other thing is, you talk about the communication of all, we know how dangerous these are, domestic cases, in any situation. Why do you think you guys were successful in doing what you were able to do, especially with so many different counties and agencies involved?
We met before we came in here, and the reason this was successful is the collaboration, the relationships that we all have with each other, and relationships matter, and that was truly the reason. We know each other, we work, and when you're on a scene, you have that camaraderie and friendship, so it goes a lot.
And you guys are aware of that Facebook post?
We are. Our detective bureau's looking into that as well. Any other questions?
So when it comes to the drone point of view, how did you guys, benefit from that? Just it's a view that I've never seen before a police department have.
Sure. The drones in Medina County are very prevalent, and that was able to provide real-time information to our team on the ground. That was relayed through the dispatch center, and it was, I can't even put words into how effective it was, because you could actually see the images, right? You knew what was happening. And the other thing is the Ohio State Highway Patrol also had their helicopter above, too, which was very helpful.
Was mom had custody of the little grandma?
Mom did.
Mom did. Do you know how long there had been some sort of a custody battle there?
Yeah, I don't know that answer. Sorry.
Sheriff, you said at the beginning the trooper was from a unit with OHP. What was the name of that?
The Special Response Team,
And what is that made up of?
I honestly don't know. I don't want to speak for them.
Highly trained personnel in a specific area of tactical detail.
Any other questions? All right, we appreciate you attending this. Again, it's a credit to all these individuals in here. So thank you all. If anybody has other questions, I'm sure people will be happy to answer them at the end. Thank you.
I do have one quick question. Is any of that going to be available to send out?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't.
OneDrive.
Okay. Is that something I need to give you guys our information or?
Just drop it right here with,
Okay.
Mr. Hartman. He'll,
Perfect.
Yeah.
You want to
Write it on there.
everybody's info.
Okay.
For everyone that wants the footage and the press release, pictures, audio, you can sign this paper wherever. I'll take it. That works too. I'll take cards.
Email it.
Sorry, I don't have one on me.
I don't see one either.
Oh, perfect. 19's prepared.
Well, see, I need the pen for my news gathering process.
Oh, that's good.
But I don't have a pen.
No paper. The card's fine, yes.
Yeah, just email it to that
Absolutely.
bottom address. It's L.Dale.
And then, which I know you're busy and stuff. Do you have a kind of a time frame?
Are you guys wanting
Everything that we saw, if you have that available.
everything we just saw now? I get that out quickly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you have more,
There's obviously more
Yeah.
body cam and stuff like that, and
wow, WK.
we'll have to go through the redaction process.
Yeah.
This can go out quickly though.